A lot easier.
Yeah.
I'm going to introduce Dan Barker first, which would be the opposite of how most people would do this, I would think. It was just the first piece of paper I had here. Many of you know Dan Barker through his writings and know his biography. I'll just give you a little bit of it for those of you who don't know. Dan became a teenage evangelist by the time he was 15. He's very musically talented, worked with larger evangelist associations on TV, wrote music, has a lot of songs that are still used in the Christian community.
Thank you, Bill. Bill Lucy is on V-U-S-E, not to be confused with Bill V. Where's Bill V? Oh, somewhere out here. The founder, the real troublemaker of the group. His strategy is this: if anybody's going to get shot down, it's the guy in the podium, right? So, Bill Van Druten, and then many of you here who were involved in the beginning, founding of the group. Part of it had to do with protesting the Ten Commandments monument. When was that? 10 years ago or whatever? Oh, 6 years ago? Okay. And then something to do with the hospitals and that. So not just a group of thinkers and socializers, but a group of doers. And Bill G., in his very eloquent remarks, and besides that, he's a wonderful host. I got to stay at his other name is Bob, by the way, in case you want to know. I got to stay at his wonderful cabin on the lake last night. Points out that, you know, the herding cats analogy. Richard Dawkins, in his latest book, The God Delusion, mentioned that trying to organize free thinkers is like trying to herd cats. And he admits that's an old joke. But he says, if you get enough cats together, they can make an awful lot of noise. Right? So this is like a movement. It's like an unusual movement, a movement with no followers. Everyone in this sort of organic, voluntary, non-coercive group is their own leader. We're all free thinkers. We all do our own, and it's almost a miracle when you think about it, that a group of us, all leaders, all free thinkers, rejecting authority and dogmatism, that we can occasionally get together to do something. And I think that's wonderful. I think that's the human spirit. That's the human part of what it means to be a thinker and to be alive. And that's amazing. You know, as soon as one of us got up and said, I am now the bishop of atheism, well, then everybody would leave, right? I mean, you don't... It doesn't work like that, the hierarchical structure. We are all equal, truly democratic. We are all human beings with an equal place at the table. There is no privileged clergy who get all these special breaks and admiration and respect because we have the word reverend in front of our name. We all have to prove our own case. Like Bill was saying, we have to make our case on its merits, not because of authority, not because tradition says it's true, not because some dogma says it's true. So neither of us can welcome you to free thought. We're all part of the same basic movement. Before I start, I want to do a song. There's a piano over there, I notice, and I'm a songwriter, musician, and I can't resist going to a piano. So Bill used the word dogma, and that brought to mind a song of mine called "Beware of Dogma." My wife, Annie Laurie Gaylor, for years was saying, Dan, write a song called "Beware of Dogma." And I couldn't think for 5, 6, 7 years what to do, until I realized that the church officially outlawed many types of dance and music. Did you know the church outlawed the tango? The tango was sinful, sensuous, human, and people actually lost their jobs, and people were censured for dancing the turkey trot or the tango or whatever. Irving Berlin wrote some great stuff challenging that censorship. So did Cole Porter and others. But I thought, what a great way to sing a song about dogma, to put it into a tango. Can you hear that okay? It has a bite. Beware of dogma. It wants a fight. Beware of dogma. It will ignite a holy war by itself. Beware of dogma. It'll trap your mind. Religious dogma. It'll make you blind. Beware of dogma. It's not designed to let you think for yourself. If we let it out in the universe, there will be no doubt everything is worse. Beware of dogma. Don't let it loose, that unchained dogma. It'll reproduce. Tie up your dogma. There's no excuse for ignorance anymore. Beware of dogma. Don't let it loose, that unchained dogma. It'll reproduce. Tie up your dogma. There's no excuse for ignorance anymore. Please, clean up after your dogma.